Well, here we go again, and a whoopity dippity doody doo. It's another glorious Monday. Birds are singing. Well, not really, not yet. Hey, don't do that yet. Not even a squirrel has made an appearance. It's still dark outside, and the day has already begun. It's like it was about a month ago before the dreaded, always complained about daylight savings time arrived. Came in like a lightning bolt at 2 o'clock Sunday morning. If you were up, as I was, you could have seen your automatic setting clocks at the very stroke of 2 a.m. suddenly become 3 a.m. If yours is still saying anything other than 7:01, uh-oh, you forgot. It was like magic, though, nothing like anything I've seen since last March. Wow. I'm the most ever sarcastic Rayford Brown. And this is live and local, real talk. May your journey today be pleasant and safe.
Oh, it's going to be hard to follow all that. But good morning, I'm Lee Barrels, and it's Monday. It's Monday. I'm worn out, but
that's it. Well,
I'm here.
You worn out because you lost an hour and you're trying to make up for it. And
No,
you
actually,
don't know what to do, huh?
I couldn't even tell you about that hour. Was because when I got home Saturday night, I was asleep, and I slept a little later Sunday. So anyway, what a weekend.
Well,
Busy for everyone.
interesting weekend. Lots of
Yes.
rain in some places here.
Yes.
We didn't get as much as other folks did. Hey, if I need 2 telephone calls.
Okay. 2 telephone calls.
Yeah, at the same time, if I could,
All right.
because I want to see my telephones this morning. Anybody want to call in and just check our telephone lines for me this morning? Do me a
Yes.
favor.
Please do.
Because, when I work on stuff all alone in here and try to check telephone lines and listen at the same time, there's a little delay between when you say something over the phone and it actually gets to us, and then another slight delay as we process it. So, and we're talking about, milliseconds, but milliseconds and when I'm listening to all sides at the same time is confusing. Anybody want to be a test phony this morning?
All right.
There's one.
Here we go right now. Wait, you're too fast. Oh, that's Kyle.
Kyle, can you hear me now?
Good morning.
Good morning, Kyle.
Yeah, phone lines are working great on this end. How about you
Okay.
guys?
Well, that's good. I'm going to check. I'm going to change some audio on my end. If you can hold on just a second.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
he does sound good this morning.
Okay. How's that? Are we still okay?
Yeah, Lima Charlie.
Okay.
Let me
I
try.
like that. Maybe I did something right without being able to.
Hey, I'm building a road trip playlist for next week. I'm going to go visit my mom. Can I ask you both for your top 3 road trip songs?
Oh, gosh.
Route 66. The theme from Route
Route
66.
66.
Roots. You won't like mine. I play a lot of Josh Groban and Dan Vask.
Well, okay, don't give a genre. Just give a specific song in the playlist.
All right.
Or three from each, please.
Okay. Josh Groban. You Raise Me Up.
Okay, Josh, I got to write it down. Josh Groban. That's a great, yeah.
Groban.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yes. You Raise Me. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That just gives you chills. To Where You
Okay.
Are. And
I'm sorry, what did you say?
the other song would be To Where You Are.
To where? Okay. Also by Josh Groban.
Yes. And
Okay.
I know this is going to sound geeky, but he does Bridge Over Troubled Water really good.
Okay, good. Yeah,
And then-
great song.
Go to Dan Vask. You have to get him off of YouTube. It's V-A.
Dan Vask.
V-A-S-C is his last name, Vask.
V-A-S-C.
He's actually a metal singer, but he does a lot of cover. He sings everything. And if you go onto YouTube and listen to Amazing Grace. He sings Amazing Grace.
Yeah, you got me there. Right?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you will have chills, and by the end of it, you'll just sit there and go like, what did I just hear? That's what I want played at my funeral. I want Dan
Cool.
Bass's version. But Amazing Grace, and one more by Dan Bass that I want you to download is Sound of Silence.
Sound of what?
Sound of Silence.
Oh, silence. Okay.
Yes. Definitely download that one. All right, Ray.
By
Dan Vask.
Also by Josh Groban?
No, Dan Vask.
Oh, okay.
But do Amazing Grace and Sound of Silence by Dan Vask. Those are good.
The first few were by Josh Groban.
That's correct.
Where you are.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are mine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, Rayford.
Well, I don't really listen to a lot of music when I'm driving these days, but back in the days when I did not have a ham radio, a pair of radios sitting in the car where I was listening to and talking to people wherever I was, all over
Right.
the world.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I one of the songs I like, I've already told you, Route 66, just for giggles. But it was the TV theme song, so it was a shortened version, and I forgot who put it on. I had the full length one, the whole thing on Route 66.
And that's the name of the song, Route 66?
Yeah, I think that would be the name of it. If you do a theme from Route 66 would be a good one.
Okay, theme. I'm sure you can pull it up on the.
Yeah. And there's a young lady by the name of Petula Clark. People call it Petula, Pet Clark. Petula Clark was the correct pronunciation, she told me. And she's from a little British lass, about 4'11", weighed nothing. But her voice was amazing back in the 60s. It's the song Downtown. I'm sure.
Downtown.
How
many times he's going to hit the fast forward button?
Downtown.
That's the one.
That's it.
That's the one. I like that. And there's another one, Amazing Grace you're talking about. There is an Amazing Grace. There's a a cappella version. What was the lady's name? She's like a hipster type back in the 60s, early 70s. Oh, golly. It's that long ago that I can't remember anything anymore.
And she sang Amazing Grace?
Yeah, Amazing Grace. And it actually was got on the top 40 charts because I played it when I was doing top 40 radio. So
I tell you, when you hear Dan Vass sing it, it just takes away everybody else's version.
Sam Hill was her
Amazing
name.
Grace.
Yeah.
By any kind of voice or bagpipes, it still makes me.
Yep. Oh,
I want
absolutely.
you, Kyle, I want you to listen to Dan's version. And then after you listen to it, when you get a chance, I want you to call and give me your impression of it.
Cool deal.
Where are you going?
This road trip is I'm heading out back home to Washington State in.
Ooh, wow.
That's a long trip.
Well, I'm able flying out there.
Oh,
I'm flying out there.
I have a sister that lives there.
And then being able to connect with my mom and
that'd be great.
go down to we're going to the ocean.
Nice.
And so I'm looking for some fun music. So I appreciate this.
Yes,
Where in
yes.
Washington are you going?
I fly into SeaTac, so Seattle, and I grew up in Olympia, Washington.
Okay.
And that's where she grew up as well. But she's in an assisted care facility in Kent, Washington.
Okay.
And
I know where that is.
Yeah.
I've never been to Washington, but I know where it is.
yeah, it's right outside of SeaTac Airport. And then we're going to go, and she's looking forward to getting her feet sandy, and so that's our mission next week.
Nice.
And, yeah.
Nice. Once you get a chance, you'll have to call us from there.
Yeah.
Give
I
us a
will.
report.
I have to get up a little bit earlier, but that's fine.
Such
Oh
a
yeah.
honor.
I hardly sleep anyways.
Yeah, I understand.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was
Yep.
a few years back, I went to Las Vegas for the what they call the SHOT Show, and I did live reports from the SHOT Show because, of course, it is 3 hours time difference, so the time here was 7. I was up at 4.
Yeah, it's still your time. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's still Rayford time.
That's it. It doesn't matter what time it is. I just get up and
Exactly.
go with the flow, whatever's necessary.
Now, when
So
are you?
one of the just a random thing, and it's apropos right now, but with the neighbors yesterday, like, why do we still do this time change thing?
Good
Is it
question.
Oh,
meaningful,
everybody
or-
asks what. Which would you prefer? Now that will be when people say, "I just tired of this time change of the time." Would you prefer it to stay standard time, and the sun would be setting earlier in the evening, as far as the clock is concerned? Would you prefer that, or would you prefer to have a little bit of darkness in the morning, a little bit later, like it is right now? It's 10 minutes after 7, a little light in the sky. So, what would you prefer?
I wake up kind of with actually my own personal clock, so it's not determined on the sunrise, but I don't know. So I don't have a preference either way. I mean, I adjust it, and we've always adjusted.
Yeah.
But from what I understand it before, was it for farming? Is that really why we did it? Or we do it now, and still do it.
Gives them a little more daylight in the morning time, because farmers like to get up and go to work. Hit the fields at sunrise during summertime,
Is
especially.
that why it was implemented?
I guess it was. I mean, that's what I always heard.
Okay, but yeah, humans weren't born with daylight savings time, so
Nope.
it had to be implemented for something.
So, well, they didn't care about the time back in the day. They didn't have a clock that they set. They just went by the sun. So they just get up with
Correct.
the sun, do their thing. Now, but the world today revolves around the clock. You got to be here this time.
Right.
You got to be there at that time. You got to be here. You got that's
Of
just
course.
the
So-
world
so-
revolves
so
around
why-
the clock.
So why mess with it 2 times a year?
Okay, we
Good
could leave it always. At,
I would like to leave it just like Arizona does. They're like,
Yep, Hawaii does the same thing. So,
Yeah.
but would you prefer to have that time to have according to the clock? Would you prefer to have the daylight available in the evening according to the clock? In other words, let's just put it this way: suppose you get off in June at 5:00, and you're a boater. You want to go for a boat
Well-
ride, so you could go for a boat ride.
as a boater, as we are,
Uh huh.
the clock. I don't look at my watch when I'm on my boat ever.
Yep.
I go off of the light and the water.
Sure.
So I would prefer to not have this back and forth.
Okay,
So-
but here's the thing. I'm asking that as a boater, if you have a job and you get off at 5:00 and you've got from 5:00 until about 8:30 when the sun sets actually in June it's about 8:30,
Mhm.
and then but you still got about 30 minutes or so of daylight, twilight, whatever. So you've got time from 5:00 until
You're
then,
not-
or you lose an
you're not-
hour of that daylight time when you get off at
You're not
5:00.
missing anything either way.
Yeah.
On both ends of the spectrum. I mean, the sun comes up, the sun goes down.
I understand that. But if you have to work until 5:00, you're going to lose that extra hour
I
of
don't
daylight.
have to work.
Well,
You don't have to
you
work.
don't. It's all about us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Well, Carl, one of our listeners said, good morning and have a safe trip.
So, well, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Did you ever get over to the Seattle area?
Yeah, I'll be there. Fly out Saturday.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I'll be obviously tuned in. I mean, and listen to you. It'll be later over there. It'll be what?
It'll be earlier over there.
10
Okay, I want you to.
10 o'clock
Okay,
over there.
I want you to listen to. I'm gonna see if you. I hope you can hear this. You ready?
I'm ready.
Was lost,
Yeah.
but now I'm found.
Now, who is that?
Was blind, but now I see.
That's Judy Collins.
Oh, Judy Collins. Oh, that's going way
That's
back.
who I was talking about.
Well, you listen to Dan
I'll
Bask,
write it
and
down.
you'll throw all the others out.
All right, Kyle. Kyle, you have a good trip,
Thank you,
sir.
Kyle. Have a great trip
Yeah,
and keep us
thank you so much.
posted.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
See you.
Love you. Bye.
Okay, we got another caller.
You hit the button too fast for me.
We're going to check line 2. Good morning. Let's see if this line 2 is working. Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning,
There you are.
Good morning.
Who's this?
Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. How are
Charlie.
you?
You didn't sound like your normal. Good morning.
I'm okay. Hey, did you guys see the results of the Los Angeles Marathon?
No,
I did not.
I did not.
Wow.
What
You gotta
happened?
watch it. When you guys get a break,
Okay.
you're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
There was one guy. He was in the home stretch.
All right.
He had nothing left. He had nothing left in him. But then all of a sudden, this guy was coming up behind him. 26 miles.
Mm.
This one guy thought he had it made. He was rushing towards the finish line. The guy was, basically behind him, 26 miles.
Uh-huh.
In less than a half of a second, the other guy won. You got to watch it. You
Holy
gotta
moly. Talk about a photo finish. That would be great.
watch it. You got to watch it.
Okay.
The guy that was in the lead, he couldn't walk. So they had to take him away. I still don't know who the winner was. It was literally less than a half a second. You got to watch it. It's really good.
I'm reading
Okay.
the
Well,
story
two
right
minutes.
now. Definitely.
All right. That's all you just trust me. Just watch
Thank
it.
you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Charlie.
Well, guess what I've done?
Line 2 sounds wonderful.
Did you hear what I've done?
No. What did you
I
do?
fixed both of the telephone lines.
What did you do?
It don't matter. Just don't touch them.
Do I normally touch them?
Somebody does.
It wasn't me. It was that cat.
Well, the cat wasn't involved because
Stormy came in here
been going long before the cat
Did
was
like
involved.
this.
Wave her magic paws. Oh,
Well, you're going back to the time change.
Yeah.
I love it during the summer when you can go out and work in the yard till 7:30.
yeah.
Come
8
in and
o'clock,
grill a little
8:30.
bit. But I also like during the winter when you've worked a full day, come 5:30, it gets dark. You make
5
dinner.
o'clock.
You change into your PJ. So there's things about both.
It's
I
kind of
like.
like me living in a place. We don't have huge, normally,
Right.
season changes here, but we have season changes. Can you imagine living somewhere like Hawaii
Mm,
where there's no season? I mean, it's always Hawaiian shirts, right?
right. Shorts
That
and
television group that I
flip-flops.
work for, we owned a TV station in Honolulu.
Oh,
So we never had our conventions there for some reason or another. I guess the flights for 30 or 40 some news directors would have been outrageous, but I thought it would have been fun. But those guys, that's the only place that their dress code is different. Their anchors can wear Hawaiian shirts or whatever they want on the air.
no.
Now, the rest of the stations, no, can do that.
I like both of them. I think when it's time to move the clocks forward, I'm ready for it.
Mhm.
Ready for
I
it.
kind of like the change. It's kind of like a season.
Yes. And so if I had to pick one of the two, I would pick the spring forward because it stays lighter longer. You think about all the advantages. You use less electricity. Your days are longer. You get more done.
Now,
But
do you remember the time that when we had that big, huge gas crisis that was manufactured by whoever?
is that one where you had to pick a number and sit in line?
That's the one. And back in
it's very young,
1974,
yeah.
was it? But anyway, that's when we went into daylight saving, went into standard time.
Right.
There was a shortage of electricity, they said. There was a shortage of this. They came up with all sorts of scams in their
Right.
heads.
Scams.
And so our government decided we're going to change the daylight saving time this year. Instead of having it in early March, we're going to have it like in February.
What? Whoa.
Now, the problem with that became very real very quickly.
Right.
It was dark later in the morning, and that involved early morning commutes, and school buses. School buses were out there picking up kids in total darkness and in school was, when they got to school, it was still dark. It was still dark at 8 o'clock in the morning around here. So that was a little bit of an issue.
Right. Well, moving the clocks forward, it threw our kids back in the dark because I pass them in the morning when
Yeah.
I'm on my way in
Yeah.
here, standing out there on the road.
Now it's still beginning to get light outside, but we got some cloud cover, so it's not getting
Yes.
light real
Yes.
fast. So you can't really be a judge of it, but 7:20 or so. But the cool
Tom.
thing is in later in the year, and
Right.
come June, when everybody wants to get out and do the fishing stuff and whatever, I would leave under cover of darkness because we'd leave the docks at 5:15, 5:30. But by the time we got to the inlet, we were crossing. I always like to cross the bar at sunrise.
I was so tickled because Tom said, "Do you like changing the clock in your car?" Well, he's got a 1940s. Tom, you need to upgrade. But in
Just
the
leave it
cars,
alone. Put some duct tape over. Don't worry about
the
it.
cars that the vehicles that we have now, that everything's digital, so it changes itself.
Mine doesn't.
There's nothing in my house or even in my vehicle that I have to change manually.
You got a
Everything
clock
is.
on your microwave? Yeah, you do, but you don't ever.
I don't ever use it.
How about the clock on your stove? Your range?
It's digital.
Yeah, well, mine is too,
It's
but does it
connected to
change
the
itself?
internet.
It really is.
Yes, my oven. It's a newer stove. It's connected to the internet.
Oh.
You can sit in the living room and pick up your app on your phone and start your oven from the couch. Start it preheating, and
There's
it'll.
something wrong with that. There's something really.
I don't hardly ever
really
use it
wrong
though.
with that.
Look, I don't use the oven a lot. You know me.
Yeah.
A trip to Smithfield or something.
Let's take a quick look. Speaking of boating and things, the
Yes.
offshore marine forecast is looking fairly decent through midweek at least. Today, offshore southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, east 3 to 5, about 6 seconds apart. Not bad. The sounds and rivers, a light chop. Slight chance of thunderstorms this morning, and there's a chance of showers later today. Patchy fog. Visibility will be 1 to 3 miles. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, 2 to 4 footers, waves of 4 feet, about 9 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, and they're about 9 seconds apart. And sounds and rivers a moderate chop. It's looking pretty on the ocean. If you do venture offshore, let me hear how well you do. Give me a call tomorrow. Give us a call. Say, hey, the fish, here's what I caught. And then I'll say, can you bring me some?
How's
So,
the fishing?
Yeah.
Right.
Let us know. Let us know what's going on out there.
All right. Today, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Areas of fog before 10 a.m. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high near 79. Calm wind becoming west around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 57. Tuesday, a slight chance of rain, partly sunny with a high near 81. Rayford, 81. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low of 62, and Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 84. I actually had to turn some fans on yesterday in the house.
Yeah, we had one. I turned one on here this morning.
Yes, you did. I came in, it was like, wee.
What was really cool is to sleep under the ceiling fan. It's right
Oh,
near the
yes.
bed, just right in the tail
I
end
had
of
the
bed.
ceiling fan on, and then I
It
had
felt so good.
my what is that? Oreo, whatever that is.
What?
That fan that you have in the studio here that
Oh,
I had to go get one just like it. That'll freeze you out. Yes, but it was kind of nice having the ceiling fans going. I don't dare open the windows because of the pollen.
yeah.
Your furniture will be yellow.
And it's we're get right on the edge of the beginning of the pine season. That's what
Yes,
you call
coming
it.
in.
We got there's spring and then there's pine season.
Right. Tom says smart devices are in contact with the government. They
That's
can
what I was
monitor your
exactly
use
what
of
I
them.
was saying. You're going to start
Both
getting
of you.
you're going to start getting commercials sent to you,
of
spots
you.
sent to you about.
Both of
We
you.
see that you like this spaghetti dinner that is available. Did you know that you can get it and save yourself a lot of time by doing it from this place?
Both of you. Stop.
Tom, We got it, son. We know what's
you
going on.
got to get with the ages.
No, I don't. The ages need to catch up with me.
Oh my goodness. You're just so used to the day of sitting in your car and taking an hour figuring out how to change the clock on it.
The clock was never right. Those clocks ran off a battery that varied in voltage. The old when you got a clock that varies in voltage,
Here we go.
it goes speeds up and slows down.
Mhm.
You never had a clock that was right. You're
Right.
always pushing that little dial in, trying to make it go round and
But
round.
wouldn't it be nice that you got in there and just put the key in the ignition, started, and everything was right? Clock was right.
It doesn't change. Mine does not change times. I have to change it. Maybe mine does and Robbie's doesn't. One of them doesn't. You have to push the button and change it.
I think Robbie's changes automatically.
don't
Isn't she
think so.
connected to yeah. All right. Jim says, good morning. I'm praying that your day is the most awesome day that you've had in a long time. Thank you, Jim.
We do appreciate that.
Thank
Got
you,
some
Pastor
bad
Jim.
news. It's bad.
Yeah, we have some tragic news over the
Yeah,
weekend.
we got
It's-
some right here in Jacksonville.
yes.
An argument is believed to have led to the death of a Jacksonville woman Saturday night, about 10 o'clock or so, and the arrest of her husband. Jacksonville police responded to a call that a woman had been shot in the area of Gum Branch Road and Williamsburg Parkway. They found the victim, 43-year-old Stacy Lee Davis, dead from an apparent gunshot. Witnesses gave police a description of the man they say shot Ms. Davis. After a short search, police located the man fitting the description they had been given. After further investigation, detectives arrested him on charges of possession of a gun by a convicted felon and one open count of murder. Michael Ray Davis Jr. will have a first appearance in court later today here in Onslow County. The investigation is continuing, and police say Ms. Davis was shot during an argument with the gentleman, Mr. Davis, her husband. Broadcast reports have indicated the two were a married couple. Davis had a criminal history that included involuntary manslaughter, assault with a deadly weapon, and assault by strangulation. Don't have the details on any of that. If you have information that could prove beneficial to this investigation, please contact the investigating officer, Detective Rankin. He's at 910-938-6417. If you nothing else, you'll get his voicemail. So leave a message. He'll call you back. You can email him at J, the initial J, Rankin, RANKIN. Again, JRANKIN at jacksonvillenc.gov. You can also call Crime Stoppers at 910-938-3273. I'll give you the number again in a minute. Get your pencils ready. Crime Stoppers offers cash rewards up to $5,000 for information determined to be of value to law enforcement. Callers to Crime Stoppers are not required to reveal who they are. They can just be totally anonymous and remain that way. Crime Stoppers number again is 910-938-3273. Stacy, the victim here, Stacy Lee Davis, had dedicated much of her time to her children and to the New River YMCA, where she served as the Youth and Family Services Director. Those who work with Stacy, others who knew her for the work that she did with children and families, say she poured her heart into her work, pointing out the difference she made in the lives of the kids that she could help. Our deepest condolences to her family, her young sons, her YMCA family, and all those whose lives she touched.
Wow. There's also been a GoFundMe set up, and it is legit for services for her. And I will share all that information later on our page. It's the YMCA has it, New River YMCA. One Place also, which is a nonprofit organization, which she was associated with, also has the GoFundMe, but they would like to be able to provide her with a beautiful service, you know, homecoming, and such a tragic and sad story.
It is. All the way
So
around.
sad. And that's why we have the Onslow Victim Center.
Yeah, folks, if you see something, say something. If you know, something's going on. I know a lot of people will see things and they say, that's not affecting me. I'm not going to get involved. Well, if you see, and I'm not saying any of that happened in this case. We don't know, have no clue. But if you see something involving a man or a woman whooping up on their spouse or significant other, you need to say something, not to them. Don't get involved in that. That could get you hurt. But call the police, call law enforcement wherever you are. There's one woman. I was looking at the jail inmates this morning for some stupid reason. When I was looking at weather and whatever, I just punched up jail by mistake and look, okay, inmates, click, and there's a woman. She's in jail for domestic violence. So they arrest women for it too, people. And this is not it happens. I arrested one for it. It was, wow. It was a crazy, an assault on an innkeeper. That was really weird.
On an innkeeper?
Yeah, this couple was staying at the beach, and it was over a holiday weekend, probably Labor Day, and got a call that the innkeeper at the motel had been assaulted. It happened to be the grandmother of the detective for the Cary Beach PD, but he wasn't working, thank goodness. So I responded to the call, got there, and the innkeeper, the grandmother type, she was hurt, not bad. Didn't require hospitalization, but I called EMS. There was a man sitting there in the lobby with her, and I'm looking at him. I said, you got whooped up on here, bud. What happened? What's going on here? He said, well, it was my wife that attacked her. And I said, did she hit you like this? And he said, yep. Well, this goes to a whole new level. It's called domestic violence. And you go to jail for that. There's no bond for domestic violence. You have to wait in jail until you see a judge. Okay. And
Right.
This was a holiday weekend, so the judge wasn't going to be available until Tuesday. So I go upstairs to get her, and she didn't want to come down peacefully. I mean, she was one of those. She's about 5 feet tall, something like that. But she
Watch out.
she wanted to fight, type thing.
Those
I
are
said,
the dangerous
this
ones.
is not going to work, lady. So she came down in cuffs and no shoes. She didn't have shoes on. I'm not going to put her blame shoes on. Duh.
Why is it that when law enforcement makes arrest and they go in there and the person could be in their boxer shorts and no shoes and it's 30 degrees outside? Why don't they dress them?
I'm not going to dress them. That's not my job.
Well, I know you being a male and her being female, but
We don't have any females at Cary Beach.
no,
The
I'm
police
just like
department.
the one that you arrested.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the police department. We don't have females to assist.
Can you throw a blanket over her
No.
or something?
It was summertime. She was dressed, but she didn't have shoes on. And I'm not going, she's kicking me. You think I want her shoes on too?
No.
Absolutely not. You got barefoot weather, you're going to be barefoot.
And you let her
Sorry.
kick you?
No, she didn't do that but once.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
explained it to her. It was not a good plan.
Wow.
A Newman man has been arrested after another man was shot and killed early Sunday, responding to a shot spotter electronic report. They've got those in certain cities.
We need them here.
Police found 31. I hope not. I don't want one out here. I need to shoot.
Can we have cameras in Northwoods, please?
Police found 31-year-old Lamarck Simmons suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital, but he later died. 26-year-old Joshua Dyer was arrested in connection with the shooting. He's charged with being an accessory after the shooting and not with shooting the person. So police are still investigating this one. If you have any information that could help, please contact the New Bern Police Department. I don't know whether they have a Crime Stoppers there or not, but you can call the New Bern PD. If you can Google Crime Stoppers of Craven County, they may have one. I don't know. The victim, Simmons, had felony convictions of assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a gun by a felon, and a misdemeanor drug possession charge.
Wow.
Dyer has no felony convictions in North Carolina. And sad thing here, a Pennsylvania state trooper was shot and killed last night while conducting a traffic stop. The shooting happened in West Kane Township, wherever that is, shortly after 9 p.m. Traffic stop. And
They say as
wow.
he was just got out and he was approaching the vehicle, that's when the person in the vehicle just opened fired on him.
yeah,
It's just so tragic. And it scares me like watching the live show on the weekends that I do.
Yes.
And they show a law enforcement officer getting out and approaching a vehicle. And I'm just like, please let this be okay. Please let this be okay. It's
Yeah, the
horrible.
trooper is identified as Timothy O'Connor. I'm trying to find out
How
some more.
old was he?
I don't know. I'm looking to find out how long he'd been with the patrol.
So sad.
Anyway, wow.
Well, I've got a crazy story for you. I was telling you about it this morning. As a kid, did you ever play pranks on your neighbors? Or on your teachers? Or on a friend?
Well, probably for a lot of friends. I don't think I never did the neighbors because it's
Well, this happened this weekend. A Georgia teenager is facing a homicide charge
oh boy.
after running over a high school teacher in an attempt to flee the scene of a prank on Friday night. Jaden Ryan Wallace, 18, is charged with first-degree vehicular homicide, reckless driving, criminal trespass, and littering, according to a statement from the Hall County Sheriff's Office. He was with 4 other people when they rolled the trees with toilet paper outside a North Hall High School teacher's residence. So they decided to prank the teacher and
They gave him some toilet paper in his trees.
Yes. The group got into 2 vehicles when Jason Hughes, a math teacher, exited the house. As Wallace, the young man that's charged, began driving his pickup truck on North Gate Drive, the teacher, Hughes, tripped and fell into the road and was run over by the vehicle. The teen stopped and attempted to help Hughes after he was hit. Deputies arrived on scene around 11:40 p.m., and Hughes was taken to the hospital by the fire department. He died at the hospital. The incident is still under investigation.
That's a tragic shame.
Yes.
Technically, legally, they're going to have a couple of issues with it if they've got a very
Yes.
serious offense there.
Well, what started out as a harmless prank
mhm.
ended up in the death of this teacher.
There are so many things that occur. Pranks, one of them. Those are totally avoidable. Don't do them.
Right.
And the old days where you could kind of get away with it and they were considered harmless, irritating, but harmless. And everybody knew that neighborhood kids would prank the old man down the street for whatever reason, right?
Right.
Especially if he was, every time they would walk nearby, he was screaming at them. That happens in certain neighborhoods. So they would taunt him. And you can't do that today because some of these people take it serious and they get tired of it and they pull a Clint Eastwood and go get their M1 out.
Well, that's like
not a good thing.
I don't know if I said anything on air, but I told you a couple of nights ago my front yard was pooched. And that's where it's the animal rescue.
Is that where they sent all the dogs over to make a deposit for you?
No, not pooped, pooched.
Oh, okay.
But Adoption First Animal Rescue has a fundraiser where for a donation, you can have somebody's yard pooch. And that's where they come out in the darkness of the night and they put signs all in your yard. It says, "You've been pooched," and there's pictures of dogs. It's really cute. And thank goodness I knew it was going to happen because my daughter confessed. And I said, well, it's probably a good thing because had my camera alarms gone off late at night, I would have thought, because like a month ago, I had an episode that ended up in my yard, JPD chasing somebody and all that kind of stuff. And I would have thought, oh no, what's going on now? And probably gone to the door armed, not knowing, but it all worked out well. Somehow my camera did not pick it up. I'm not sure if it did or not. My alarm didn't go off, but when I went into my cameras to look, I didn't go back far enough. But they were very sneaky and they got the job done. But, nowadays, Rayford, you think about that.
I don't think I would
People
probably
are
pick
on
another
edge.
deal. At least notify them.
Yes, we're going to pooch you.
Yeah. Do you have a problem with this? And because, the situation, we're all nervous.
Yes, on
about
edge,
things.
right.
Last week we had a situation here in the neighborhood.
Here in your
Yeah, I mean, they were chasing a drug dealer. and he jumped and ran from the car. He left the car right across the street from here.
Right in front of your house.
Yeah, and suddenly there were 1, 2, 3, about 6 marked cars and a couple of unmarked cars there. And the dude was a dealer, but he was throwing fentanyl out. They got him. They haven't got him yet, but they know who he is. They may have him by now. I don't know. But I would, and he was when he was still at large. Do you think that somebody walking through my yard that night would have been just okay? I just walking by.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He would not have done that.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't know, and we've gotten to the point now where we keep our doors locked, our windows shut and locked, our garage is locked. You go out to mow the yard, you lock the door behind you because when you're in the backyard, you don't know about the fire. I mean, we're such on edge. We have to make sure our vehicles are locked at nighttime. Don't leave it. Look, Saturday night I went to an event in New Bern. And I went to the Riverfront Convention Centers where they had it.
I had to walk a distance to get there too, didn't you?
Well, the parking lot was full, so I had to walk towards I had to park in the parking lot, but it was right along the street curb. And there's signs that say, do not leave any valuables in your vehicle. This area, such and such, is more or less known for vehicle break-ins. And I'm thinking, so I left a few minutes early before they actually disbanded, and I had to walk all that way to my vehicle. And I'm like looking and looking and looking, and I'm like, and there was people walking down the street, so I had to wait for them to go by. And I had to be cautious. And, who would have thought? I used to go to Walmart late at night or early in the morning. I don't do any of that anymore. If it gets dark.
You just went to see the Martians, right?
No, I just went to go watch people in their pajamas. But, it used to be fun to go to Walmart in the middle of the night because nobody was there. And you could take your time and, have a good time. But, I usually went with my sister.
You're
a
sad case, no entertainment. You got a TV and 4 million channels on it.
Yeah, I do.
And you
a lot of TVs.
And you went to Walmart for entertainment.
No, I'm just saying this was then. But since then, I don't do that anymore. When I leave the studio in the morning, I generally go get what I need. Or if something happens during the middle of the day, I get it then. But once it gets towards the evening, nope, it can wait till tomorrow.
I don't need to run out. I mean,
I
there
don't
are days that I don't ever leave from here. I mean, I went like 7 days and did not get in my vehicle. I was I never left this premises. Just a couple of weeks ago.
I will say that I think we live in Onslow County, and I think it's a good area. It's not crime ridden like some of these others, but things do happen.
Well, things happen, and the police respond. The sheriff's office is always on top of it.
Yes,
and,
excellent.
So we're always good there. But also, there are a whole lot of people. There are lots of people in this county who take care of their own. They don't go in their yards. You just don't. If I was one of those porch bandits, like they say, I would be very fearful of going into somebody's yard because there are people out there that do not know. They've never had a concealed carry class, but they got guns, and they just might shoot your butt. I'm saying, he just stole my stuff from my porch. What are you talking about? I can't shoot him. Well, it's too late now. I done shot him.
Well, you bring up a good point, and that's something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rant, a nice rant, though. Amazon, United States Postal Service, FedEx. How about when you deliver a package? UPS. I'm sorry, UPS. The big brown truck. That's actually green. But how about when you deliver a package? Don't set it right there in the front of the door where everybody can see it. Can you kind of shove it to the side a little bit or place it to where it just can't? Saturday night, I no sooner got to where I was going, and I had a delivery coming, which I had scheduled for another day, but it got delayed. And so it ended up coming on the day that I wasn't there. And they sat it right in front of my front door, almost on the sidewalk. So anybody and everybody can see I had packages and no vehicle in the driveway. So I text my neighbor and I said, hey, could you take them and just shove them over like behind the bush or something so they can't be seen from the road. I got so tickled when I got home because he had taken one and put it behind a bush and then taken the other one further down and put it behind another bush, my decorative bushes there, so it could not be seen from the road. Thank you so much, Ben. But, when I used to deliver mail,
Yeah.
I would take packages and I would always try to put them in a place that driving by, you just don't look and see, oh, that person's got a package. I would put them in certain places, leave them a note, put them in their boats, whatever, under the tarp, on top of their grill, whatever I could put them, and I would cover them so it would not be obvious, but I would leave the customer a note saying your package is in your garage, or, oh, that's a whole nother story, or your package is in your boat. But nowadays, so I've seen someone walk up and not actually get on the porch, but just toss the
Oh,
package
yeah. I see that all the
from
time.
the
Yeah.
sidewalk, and wherever it lands, it lands. I'm like, I guess it's not their job to make sure your package does not get
It's
stolen.
not.
I understand that, but come on.
It's going to be at the point that homes are going to have a one-way drop for packages.
I thought about putting one out there.
Because you can see
Bolt it to
you
the
can see
patio.
everything from in front of my house.
Right.
The problem is, y'all, there are 2 cameras that watch you,
Mm-hmm.
and right at the door. They're 2. There's not one.
Mine automatically, as you start to approach it through the yard,
Yeah.
it announces that it's
And
recording.
then there's another one. Mine doesn't tell you. It just
Mhm.
does it.
Mine
So
tells
it's,
you.
Maybe I should put an alarm out there, so with a warning on it.
Well, Rayford, you remember back in the day where the only thing we ever had on the front of our house was a doorbell.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
We didn't worry about
And you
anything
didn't have
else.
it chained or anything
No.
else. People come up there, people hey, come on in the door.
Yeah, walk
How
right
about
in
the
the door.
days of the milkman making a delivery? They open the
I
door and
remember
walk
those.
in. They-
But yeah, I mean, that was back in the day when you could actually sleep with your windows open.
yeah,
You could, and if you forgot to shut your front door or
it
lock
wasn't that
it,
big a deal.
not that big of a deal.
Not
You could
today.
leave your vehicle sitting outside with the windows rolled down.
Oh, my dad never locked his truck the whole time he was here. Never.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Because those were the days. Do you remember the days of 2 keys for your car? One for
Yes.
the locks in the trunk and glove
Yes.
compartment, and
Yes,
the other
I
one
mean,
for the
I didn't-
ignition.
That was before me, but before I
no.
owned a vehicle.
Well, no, I think this was even in the 80s.
But I remember you had to have a key to unlock it and get it in.
Yeah, separate key.
Right.
So his habit was, I don't even know where that key is. I'm not going to carry 2 keys to that thing. Oh my God, I got enough
Yes.
keys as it is.
Yes.
But but times have changed.
Yes.
You-
Times
you
have
got,
changed.
You got to lock your mess up. You need alarms on this, alarms on that. If I hit my locks over there, if I rolled my windows down and left my windows down in my Jeep, and I lock it with my remote,
Right.
you open that door,
Right.
it's going to go off.
Yes. The
Doesn't
alarm will
matter.
go off.
So that's the cool thing.
Well, I've learned to, when I walk into the house, I put my keys in the same place 99% of the
I
time.
do in my pocket.
99. As soon as I walk in, there's a bowl there, and that's where I put them. I put them there. So first of all, I know where they're at when I get up in the morning. But also, if something happens in the middle of the night, and I wish I had thought fast enough that night, we had that little fray in my yard there, to be able to, when the guy they were chasing ran and crashed in front of my truck, would have been so cool. I'd been able to hit the alarm on my truck.
Uh-huh.
He'd have a heart attack and drop. Scared me.
Then you would have been arrested and charged with,
Right. So
aiding and abetting a stupid act.
yes. It just, I'll tell you, when it gets dark outside, you just don't know what's out there.
Boogeyman's out there, the boogeyman. Unprovoked shark bites worldwide increased in 2025, and fatalities rose above the recent decade average. There's a company, there's files out there, some research is always done. International Shark Attack File. The Florida Museum of Natural History's International Shark Attack File confirmed 65 unprovoked shark bites around the entire world in 2025. 65 unprovoked shark attacks where the sharks just came out and bit you for no reason.
Ugh.
That's up from a lower than usual total in 2024 and closer to the 10-year average of 72 per year. That's the average, has been for a while. 72 unprovoked shark attacks, not deadly. 12 of the 2025 incidents were fatal. 12 of the
Oh, my
65
goodness.
unprovoked shark attacks were fatal.
All right.
It's they say it's too early to determine whether the increase signals a shift in what's going on. Yeah, with more people in the water, swimming, playing, doing whatever, you're splashing around in the water, and you're swimming or surfing or looking like something to eat, or if they are in shallow water, which is most often the case, in water that's knee deep or slightly deeper, and you're out there just goofing around in the ocean, and there are a lot of fish out there. If the fish, don't go swimming around a fishing pier. There are people out there that throw bait overboard. They clean the fish up there in the shallow water. Remember? They clean the fish at that cleaning station on the pier so they don't have to take the fish home and clean them. And all that stuff goes down into the water.
Chum.
They call it chum. And the sharks will come along. Don't go into the water near the fishing pier. That is like on the verge of being stupid. It's definitely crazy.
I'm looking at the ocean tracker right now.
Yeah, we could go into that in just a second. Most of the fatalities, they say, are in Australia, which may be experiencing both an uptick in some species of sharks and an uptick in surfers exploring new breaks in the water where they like to surf, some of which are quite remote and hard to get to, and an uptick in new ways that humans enjoy water sports like foiling, whatever that is, in surfing. Additional years of data will be needed to determine whether 2025 represents the start of a trend. Now, let's get on down to where it's talking about some of the locations. Florida reported more incidents than any other U.S. state in 2025. Most cases were non-fatal. All cases were non-fatal in Florida last year. They had a total of 11 likely shark bites. Okay, unprovoked shark bites. California was next with 5. They had 1 fatality out of that. Hawaii was next, third in the U.S. with 4 shark attacks, no fatals. South Carolina's next. They had 2. Nothing fatal. New York. You don't think of a lot of sharks except when you see Jaws and being up that far north, right? But there are lots of sharks, especially great whites, who like the waters up there. They had 1 shark attack, nothing fatal. North Carolina was next with 1. I don't know how they get it next because North Carolina, New York, and Texas each had 1. And none were fatal in 2025. There have been some shark trackings. You got that?
Yes.
Because the great white, there's one big one they're tracking. It's huge, like 16-footer. And there are a couple of others that they've got tracking devices on.
I know the latest one is the white shark, the name Cross, 9 foot 1 inches. And he came all the way from Nova Scotia back in October 2025.
Wow.
And he was right off of our coast.
Taking a tour. How far off of our coast?
He was, it doesn't really say, but he's hanging around right now around the South Carolina, North Carolina line. But I'm sure they drilled in here further. But we've got quite a few. KO right now is a great white shark. Well, it's a female, 10 foot 3 inches, and it's hanging off our coast right now. Let me see where it says it's at. But yeah, interesting.
Got some breeding grounds out here too.
Yes.
For certain sharks, especially around the Cape Lookout area.
Right. This KO was tagged on July 29, 2025 and released in Nova Scotia. Now, a lot of these are coming from that area.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I just put the link in our comment
Yeah,
section.
if you want to follow the tracked sharks. Now, not all sharks out there have tracking devices on them, of course,
Right.
but they're looking for trends themselves about the species, where they go, and all that sort of good stuff. That's the reason they're
Wow,
tracking
there's a
them.
lot of
Lots
them
of
right
studies
off our
going on.
coast.
Well,
Luna, 15-footer. Woo!
what kind?
Let me
That's
see.
not-
Oh, shoot. This thing is very sensitive.
So Luna, Luna, or
Luna. Let me go back here. It's been a while since I've been on this track or so. Here's one, Keegan. Oh, that's a sea turtle. All right. Let me go back to Luna. Where did Luna go? Nori's a white shark, 8 foot, 10 inches. It's off our coast. KO is still hanging up there off our coast. And I lost Luna. Oh, there's Danny right there at the South Carolina, North Carolina line. But anyway, it's how do you say it? It's ocean, but it's Osearch. Osearch. OCEARCH. Osearch. Anyway, I'll put the link, and you can actually track a lot of the sharks and see where they're going, where they've been, and whether you want to go swimming today.
Well, the water's still a little bit chilly for
it's
that, I
okay.
guess, but we'll see.
Anything within 500 miles, I'm not going out.
Luna's a 15-foot.
Yes, I saw the
Great
15
white.
before I lost her, right?
Second biggest white shark tagged in the North Atlantic,
Wow.
named for the incredible people of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. That's what it's called, Luna, I guess. I was thinking of the. Yeah, it's been down off the South Carolina coast too in the past. Wow, this is out of Charleston. It was hanging around out there in 2019.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing how they go
Now,
from
a lot of them don't come close to shore. You know, when they say off the coast, that doesn't mean right off the
500
beach.
miles.
There's off the beach is one thing. Off the coast of North Carolina, it could be out there 50 miles. You know, never can tell.
Right.
So that's the way that works. Okay, enough about the sharks right now. Unless anybody got any shark stories? Nope. Okay.
My only shark story is after watching Jaws,
You didn't.
I decided that I wasn't comfortable in the ocean.
You're okay. It's okay.
Ankle deep.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Excuse me.
You ever seen the video of some of the sharks? And as they're chasing fish up on the beach, and the sharks actually beach themselves and have to keep wiggling and waiting for the next
I've not
wave.
seen videos of
Holy
that happen.
moly.
I've seen videos and pictures of them beached,
Yeah,
but not private.
sharks beached?
Yes.
That's weird. I've
Yes.
seen lots of whales. But
Yes. There was North Topsail. If you follow that page, you can see one occasionally where it's come up on the beach. I'm like, bye.
well, the son of Iran's supreme leader, ex-supreme leader, takes over after U.S. and Israeli airstrikes killed his daddy a week ago. I know I'm going to do it wrong. Mojtaba Khomeini was named the new supreme leader. He's 56 years old, the second oldest son of the late leader. I wonder why the oldest son did not get that job. Just don't know. Much of his early childhood saw his revolutionary father working for the notorious Ayatollah Khomeini when Khomeini was there, taking over the country after the Shah of Iran was forced out. Y'all did not live through that. The Shah was relatively a peaceful guy. The United States and the Shah of Iran worked sort of hand in hand. He may have been working behind the scenes to build huge military. Don't think he was involved in any of the terrorist activities. No indication of it that I can recall. But anyway, he had cancer, and he managed to get out of the country, and he came to New York, came to the United States.
Wow.
And so much screaming, hollering people around here didn't want him in the United States, so he left from the U.S. During this period of time, this young kid, Mojtaba, was witness to the siege of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and the confinement of 52 Americans for 444 days. During recent times, as we know, his daddy took over when the Ayatollah Khomeini kicked off in 1989, becoming the country's supreme leader as Iran became a training ground and safe haven for terrorists to lead up the attack on the United States on 9/11. So this young guy at that time was watching all of this happen, and his daddy became the supreme leader of Iran after the Ayatollah Khomeini, of which most of us remember, he died. President Trump joins other leaders in questioning whether Mojtaba will be more peaceful than his predecessors. I suspect the odds in Las Vegas are that he's more the same. If that's indeed the case, I suspect he has a very short lifeline for palm readers to look at. Given what we're doing now, if you prove to be not a good person, you're going to be a radical and pose a threat to the United States, your future is very dim.
Yeah.
If you're keeping score, U.S. forces have continued going after military and war machinery targets in Iran, even for the past week since the initial attacks. So far, more than 3,000 strategic targets have been hit. 3,000 targets have been hit by U.S. and coalition forces. Well, the coalition would be Israel. Reported last week, some 30 of Iran's complement of naval vessels have been destroyed. That's pretty much the entire fleet. Many of those boats are smaller patrol boats. Others are large ships capable of launching missiles from hundreds of miles offshore the United States. Why are we going after the Navy? We know they have missiles. They're shooting missiles every day. They're sending missiles into Israel constantly. They got a ton of missiles to go off to shoot. Why haven't they shot any missiles into the United States? They don't have a missile capable of reaching here. It's too far from where they are. They just can't do it. They do not have what is known as intercontinental ballistic missiles, IBMs. I'm sure you guys have heard of IBM. Some of you, all of you should have. IBM is just like a launching device. It's like the rockets that we send when we send spaceships into space. We shoot them into space, launch them into space with rockets attached behind them. The intercontinental ballistic missile carries a payload. You can put whatever warhead that you want on it. Nuclear, of course, would be the preferred choice for Iran if they ever could get their hands on an intercontinental ballistic missile. The transportation system is not good for them. The United States has been strategically located. We got lucky when we settled here. We got lucky when we came up with a border plan that did not allow people to come into the country. And then we got unlucky when we had presidents, a couple of 3 or 4 of them, who said, well, it's okay if a few come in. And then one who said, just open the border, let anybody come in who wants to. So, but until that time, we maintain our borders. We did not allow the folks out there that were bad to get in here. Now we do. We just don't stop them.
Wow. Yeah, I've been watching that. I pretty much have it on one screen starting early afternoon and it's on till I go to sleep. But watching and listening to the sirens going off, television, there's like 4 different screens. And
how would you like to be visiting there? I know it's a place where a lot of folks go to visit from the Jewish communities.
No, in fact, there is a father and a daughter from somewhere here in North Carolina that went over there on a church-related type mission, right? And they're trapped. And the wife was interviewed, and this was earlier in the week, and I couldn't imagine being trapped over there.
There are places that are kind of volatile, and I mean, Israel has been bombarded even in relatively peaceful times. Right. They're going to get shot at.
I just,
I can't imagine living under those conditions.
right. I couldn't imagine either. I mean, you think about it. You're sitting there eating supper, and then all of a sudden,
The sirens go
the
off.
sirens go
You
off.
go to find war shelters.
Yes,
Bomb
yes.
shelters. They used to call them bomb shelters.
I couldn't imagine living like that.
Well, it's like London did it during all of World War II. But the thing is, this has been going on a lot longer than World War II, the 3 years of World War II. So Israel has been constantly bombarded.
I mean, it's scary enough when the tornado alarm goes off,
Yeah. Yeah.
which we used to be able to hear that. You don't hear that. You probably does Pumpkin Center still set off the alarm for tornado warnings?
I don't think I've heard any. And we're indoors these days. You don't hear the
Right,
sirens
right.
anyway. That's why weather radio is extremely important, folks. Let's go ahead and put that plug in. And we'll talk about this is a National Severe Weather Month.
Yes, it is.
March is that way. And yesterday was a little bit of a potential.
Hmm.
I mean, we had very warm temperatures for the 1st of March. I was, 81 or so.
Yes, yes, yes. It was. It did get up to.
And if,
Right
you know,
around
when, if there's a little cold weather thing comes along and with hot weather here, that's what spawns other storms and tornadoes. So we got to be on the alert for it and get yourself a weather radio. They're cheap, $50 or less.
Well, I will tell you that I did take my weather radio off the wall yesterday, checked the batteries, and checked everything that I had, because it wasn't going off and it wasn't alerting me. But then again, I realized I had it turned off. But it's
Well,
I
that will
checked
do
it, turned it on,
Mhm.
checked it for alerts and stuff. So it's all good. Thankfully, it did not go off yesterday, but my lightning detector, it was constantly beeping.
And if you and if you want to have a weather radio, it's great. And if you want to just be able to say, okay, I wonder what the weather's going on, you push the little button over there,
Mhm.
and the radio station, the VHF radio station carrying
Right.
NOAA weather radio pops up and starts giving you constant weather information, yada, yada, yada. A lot of it's dealing with the marine environment, but it used to be all that. But now it covers everything, wherever you are. The good thing about these radios, you don't have to worry about them. If you program them, you don't have to worry about them going off in the middle of the night talking to you about a severe thunderstorm in Charlotte.
Like Alexa does?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But if, you don't need to know that. But she will, the NOAA weather station will go off. If you program it for any alerts that impact Onslow County, you can program it just for that. Mine's programmed for Pender County and also Carteret County. I think I've got
Mhm.
Jones in there as well. And Lenore, because we get weather coming in from the west, we get weather coming in from the south, and we also have weather that will actually move down from Carteret County. So weather doesn't always go north or west. There can be times when it comes this a hero way. So always good to hear about that.
Yes, it is. So, but you're right. March is the season for thunderstorms and
Mhm.
tornadoes all the way into, I think, April?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so-
that's when it eases off some. But severe weather can happen anytime with tornadoes or thunderstorms. And severe thunderstorms, they can be pretty nasty. Yesterday, we had a lightning strike back here, not on our property that I know of.
Mhm.
I didn't go out to look for bark off the trees, but I was at a country club one day. I think it was during the Dancing Stars event, and I heard a lightning blast. When I got home, one of the trees was split in the back, and bark
Right.
was thrown all over the
Oh,
road,
wow.
all over the area. So these tall pine trees will get hit.
I've had lightning strikes very, very close to the house. That will scare the bejeebers out of you. Never had one actually hit in the yard. We're not even going to talk about that, but
Well, I tell you what, if you're standing
Pretty
outside,
scary.
if you've never been outside and you felt and the air was charged with electricity and it hits something, not necessarily a harsh strike or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
and a hair stand up in your arm, hairs just suddenly pop up. It's wild.
Here, I've got a story for you.
I bet your hair would go straight up.
Well, that's just what I need, more frizz. I have a story for you that's just right up your alley.
What's that?
I can just hear you now. It happened in Aberdeen, North Carolina on Sunday, March 1st. But it's a burglary involving a knife-wielding man changed course dramatically when the homeowner pulled a gun
Whoops.
and took the suspect prisoner.
Whoops.
It happened around 11 p.m.
The guy's lucky
on
he's
Sunday
not
night.
dead.
March 1st in Aberdeen and ended with the 21-year-old suspect facing multiple felony charges.
Probably was very thankful when the police arrived.
The victim, who was in his home with his spouse at the time, advised that a male had entered his screened-in porch trying to make entry into his home and that he had a knife in his possession. When police arrived, they found the homeowner on the porch holding the suspect at gunpoint.
Oh, yeah. Down on your face, Bubba.
Mess around and find out.
Mom.
He was charged with felony first-degree burglary, felony breaking and entering with intent to terrorize, and misdemeanor first-degree trespass. Court documents show the suspect lives about a mile south of the crime scene.
What
But
was
you
he
know,
think?
how lucky is it that the homeowners were obviously up and awake at the time?
Yeah.
Or they could have been sleeping and they had a door alarm. You never know, or a camera.
You know, depending upon his attitude, I can just see him on the front porch and, copying an attitude.
Right.
And
Rayford, you would have had him handcuffed,
I
sitting
wouldn't.
down on the
No, I wouldn't.
porch.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
yes, you would have.
I'd make him suffer just where he was and explain to him that I'm going to shoot him first. And if he moves, I will shoot you in your leg. I'll just shoot you in your heel. Do you know that you will never walk the same when I finish with you?
I mean, could
I'm
you?
not going to kill you because I got you. You're not going to hurt me.
Mm.
But if you move, I will shoot you in your foot.
Well, I tell you what, could you imagine, getting just looking out your window and there's a guy there with a knife in his hand? I'd be like, let me open the door and you can come in.
Well, breaking in, he was on a screened-in porch. That is breaking and entering.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Doesn't have to be locked, folks, to be breaking. You open a car door and it's not yours, that's called breaking and entering. Duh. Even if it's not locked, you can't do it.
Well,
You can do
let
it all
me
the
tell
time, but that can be a problem.
how scary.
On the front lines of New York City,
Oh,
the
boy.
other war zone, Big Apple cops found the third IED Sunday.
Yes.
What? Yep. There were 3 IEDs that they found. They found the third one and safely disarmed it. Another device was thrown while competing protesters. You had protesters on one side of this issue, protesters on the other side acting like idiots outside the so-called Gracie Mansion. That's the official residence of the city's mayor while he remains in office. Not sure how long that's going to be. He might want to pack his bags because he's getting less popular with New Yorkers every day. Police spotted the suspicious device and blocked off traffic. It was in a car, and they stopped it, blocked off traffic in the downtown area while the bomb squad came in and worked to neutralize it. City officials confirmed that at least one of those IEDs had the potential to cause serious injury. So it wasn't just a play toy. No cherry bombs. This was serious. Don't know what was happening there. I don't know what they were protesting about.
That's what happens when you don't get out and vote. Because what people did get out and voted for.
I know you don't like to fly.
Oh, I was just going to
Airline passengers on their way to Fort Lauderdale from Nashville got
Isn't that crazy?
surprise when their plane
Yeah,
landed
right
in
there.
Atlanta Friday.
Atlanta.
Seems that a man on board the Nashville to Lauderdale plane had created some kind of concern of his fellow passengers. This is a strange story. The passenger said the man appeared irritated when flight attendants stored his carry-on luggage into an overhead bin instead of allowing it to be kept under his seat.
Mm-hmm.
The passengers seated behind the unidentified man became concerned after the plane took off when it appeared he was texting some sort of threats on his cell phone. How could they read it? I don't know. So the passengers did what they should have done. You see something, you say something. Leave all of this to the professionals, okay? Once you do your job, leave it to the professionals and this things get out of hand. The plane was diverted to Atlanta. Apparently nobody on board knew it. Awaiting their arrival was a team of tactical cops, what are generally called SWAT teams. Well, after sitting on the ramp for about an hour, the passengers are like, what's going on? Where are we? Yada, yada, yada. The tactical team entered the passenger area of the plane, told everyone to get down. They didn't know what was going on. You know what a SWAT team looks like coming in your direction? Not a good scene.
No, not a good sign.
Well, after sitting on that ramp, the tactical team entered the passenger area, told everyone to get down. They approached the passenger that had been pointed out, took him into custody, a little bit of a, what are you doing to me thing. They let him off the plane, and the passengers then relaxed. After an investigation, including some intense interviews, the police satisfied, and the man walked away.
What?
No charges.
What?
Glad that it was nothing, but it could very well have been something much more involved. Much more could have come of this. The passengers, all but one, boarded another plane, and after an extended break to decompress, resumed their flight to Fort Lauderdale, arriving at 4 o'clock in the morning, and all of these folks had the story of their lives to tell.
Well, here's another one that happened a couple days before that. An elderly man aboard a JetBlue flight in Florida was arrested after he told airline staff he had a bomb in his bag.
Oh, dumb.
Robert Albany, 76, of Lindenhurst, New York, was arrested Sunday just before 10 a.m. at Terminal 4 at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Police were called to the terminal after Albanese apparently became upset when he was unable to find space in the overhead bin for his carry-on luggage.
A lot of that happens. They get mad.
Witnesses, including flight attendants and a gate agent, advised that the defendant began arguing with airline staff regarding the storage of his bag. Multiple witnesses reported that the defendant stated, "I have a bomb in my bag." While
That was the end of that.
Yeah,
one.
while pointing to his carry-on luggage located inside the aircraft cabin. Deputies took Albanese into custody, and the plane, which was preparing for takeoff, had to be evacuated, and a K-9 was brought in onto the aircraft to search for a potential bomb. No bomb was found. The people boarded the plane and flew out. Well, let me ask you this. Would you want to change your ticket to a different plane? Different time, different something after all that? Or would you feel confident that the K-9
I
did his job?
I would guess right now that would be the safest plane you could fly on. Now,
Really?
I think people like this individual that caused a delay like the one did in coming out of Nashville for hours. The plane was a 2-hour flight, supposedly.
Right.
They left at, 8:30 or 8 o'clock? Should have been in Fort Lauderdale at 10 o'clock.
Right.
They got there at 4 in the morning. Now,
Mhm.
I think the individuals who cause those kinds of delays should be turned over to the passengers.
I agree
For them
because
to have a discussion with them and have a little sit-down session and convince him that your ways were wrong and a blanket party to follow.
I agree because this man, Albanese, was only charged with a false report of a bomb explosion, which that's weird, and criminal mischief over $1,000. No, he just disrupted a lot of people lives right there and the airlines. Yeah, I say throw him back in there with the
Throw 'em in.
passengers and shut the doors.
Absolutely.
Shut the door.
Get all the passengers a few drinks first,
But you
and
know,
then throw him into the
there's
mix.
been so much of that lately. And talking about airlines, after we do weather, let's talk about what happened to the National Transportation Safety Board member, Todd Inman. I don't know if you remember with the DC crash between the helicopter
yeah.
and the passenger jet.
There was a lot of mess about that.
He was the one that did all the news conferences. And
Mhm.
anyway, we'll talk about it when I was shocked. Okay. Weather.
Marine forecasts looking okay, looking fairly decent here for a day or two.
Right.
Just the only thing you got to really worry about right now is early morning fog and any patchy fog that you run into offshore. It's okay. You're probably not going to be in the shipping lanes, but if you're just sitting out there, you just got to be a little bit more careful while you're driving, because dense fog you might not see the boats coming in straight at you, even if you're offshore. So just be really careful if you go out there and you get involved in that. Today, southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, about 6 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a light chop. There's some chance of thunderstorms this morning. I'm looking outside now. It's getting lighter and lighter and lighter.
Thundery.
There's a chance of showers and patchy fog. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 5 to 10, seas 2 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Every about 9 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a light chop. Chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, not much, but a little bit. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4. They're 4 seconds apart. That means they're going from 9 seconds on Tuesday to 4 seconds every bump, bumpity, bump, 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 bump. That's the way it's going to be. Really choppy. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, looking pretty on the ocean. If you do venture offshore, let us hear how well you do. Call us and tell us what you were catching, because I want to know.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
And today starts the open flounder season. Today, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 79. Calm wind to be coming west around 5 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 57. Tuesday, a slight chance of rain. Partly sunny with a high near 81. And Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 84. And then the temperature is going to drop a little bit Thursday and Friday, more seasonal, high 60s. So that's okay.
All right, I can
We'll
take
take
it. That's
it.
better than those high, the temperatures being in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
Okay, checking around the county, our friends, our amateur radio buddies, had a good meeting on Saturday.
And budettes.
And buddies and budettes?
And budettes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, another program. Randy out there in Southwest Community this morning, he was on his golf cart, 63 degrees, 99% humidity at the time, no wind. He had 0.57 inches of rain, a half inch of rain. Carol called in this morning. She and her husband Dale live up the river around the bend, 61 degrees, 99% humidity, calm, no wind, 1.1 inches. They had the record yesterday, and Carol said there was also a lot of hail where they were. A bunch of hail came down, pea-sized hail, but they ended up with a total of a little over an inch of rain. Joe down in the borough, 64 degrees, what he called in early this morning, 99% humidity, 29.88 inches of mercury, easterly winds light, about 2 miles per hour at the time. He had 0.40 inches of rain, almost a half inch of rain. But Ward, nearby, across the river there, White Oak River over in Cedar Point, 58 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.11 inches of mercury, and it was falling. Southwesterly winds, light breeze about 5 miles per hour. He had 0.31 inches of rain. Ken in Onslow Bay had 63 degrees, 99% humidity. He doesn't have any way to measure the rain as yet, but he said there was a lot of it yesterday. Lee over in the Woodlands this morning, you reported 61 degrees, 99% humidity, 30.03 inches in the, and it was steady, mercury, no wind, 0.02 inches of rain. And here at the studio in Country Club, it was 59. It is now 61 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.90 inches of mercury, and it's steady, calm, Very calm outside. That's nice. And 0.01 inch of rain. So it was interesting to see the
I
difference
know,
all in one
yeah.
county, not significant differences in temperature or humidity, but in the amount of rain. I was watching it on radar yesterday. And like I said, at whatever
It
time
was like Jacksonville City was in a bubble
Yeah.
going around us.
Yeah.
Now, at one point yesterday, it did rain really, really hard at my house, but I failed to look at the gauge before it changed over.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was raining because
Mhm.
at first, because I was outside trying to drain the hot tub, so there was water involved.
Right.
And and then I'm.
You were being rained on by
I
the hot
just had
tub.
little tiny raindrops falling here apparently, and,
Right.
and I was like, where did all this come from, man? I thought it just stepped in the water. I didn't know I was
Yeah.
wallowing in it. But
It started like early around dinner time. It started just pouring. It was pouring so hard when I looked out the windows, it looked like all fog because it
we
was
never had
early.
that here.
Yeah,
That's
never. Talking about National Transportation Safety Board member Todd Inman, he was NTSB's initial on the scene spokesman at the deadly mid-air collision over Washington, D.C. last January.
It was a helicopter and a plane.
And he has abruptly departed the agency 2 years into what is typically a 5-year term.
Whoops.
Days after the NTSB added his 5th board member, Inman was fired by the White House Presidential Personnel Office on behalf of President Trump. He told this to CBS News in a statement. Aviation News Service, the Air Current, was the first to report on his departure. But he says, to date, I have not received any reason for his termination. I watched that man give so many press conferences. I feel like I know him. CBS News has reached out to the Trump administration for comment, and of course, they were referred to the White House, so nothing yet. Inman was appointed by President Biden and confirmed by the Senate in March 2024. He's a former Department of Transportation official during Mr. Trump's first term. Should say President Trump. Well, he responded to the crash between a regional American Airlines flight and a Black Hawk helicopter, where 67 people were aboard the aircraft. He became very emotional during an interview with CBS News discussing what he arrived on scene. He says, last night, being at the debris field, and he's talking the day after it happened, I expected to see plane debris. When you look over and see those bodies laying, that's somebody's family. It could be yours. But very curious as to why now all this has been gone to committee and the NTSB has done their final analysis on what happened. All of a sudden, this man was fired. It could be something else in there that we haven't heard about yet.
They don't all they got to do is fire you if they don't like the color of your shoes.
Yeah, obviously, but that really surprised me because I watched him give most all the press conferences for that, and he was pretty easy to follow and to watch, very informative. But yeah, I'm anxious to see what else comes out of all that.
There probably will be something
Like
out there.
what?
910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. We do have our lines working
Yes,
after some intense in-studio adjustments yesterday.
very good.
And I was doing part of it as a guest because I couldn't have any way to listen to somebody.
Well, the
Calling
phones-
myself
yeah.
was a pain in the butt.
Phones sound very good this morning. Well, we're 5 weeks into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Golly. That's
Yes.
still nothing.
Still nothing at all. They did find.
I'm not. Something wrong, y'all. There's something wrong.
I still
here.
think it was a burglar, and that something went wrong in the house, and he took
Why would a
her.
burglar go
Whether-
into an occupied house? That's dangerous.
Well, it could be. Well, I agree, it's dangerous. Look at the guy in North Carolina that just guy came into his area with a knife in his hand, and that didn't work out well for him. But what's strange now is that the FBI's gone back to some of the neighboring houses, questioning them about their cameras or whatever they had cameras,
Yeah.
whatever, ring doorbells on the night that this happened, because they're getting reports from some of the residents that their ring doorbells or cameras weren't working that night for a while. So the FBI is investigating whether or not it was a quirk that the internet was not working during that time, or if there was an internet outage or something else. And they said that they don't think a jammer was used.
Well, that would
Which
have been
would
my
make
first
sense.
guess if that's what
Yes.
they thought. But
But they also found an electric box close by that had been damaged, and they still have not yet tied all that together and come out with any positive, this is what happened,
an
whatever.
electric box just for the cameras?
Oh no, this is electric. It was like a big meter box, electric box, but they found that was damaged, and they're checking to see if that might have interfered with something. I don't know, Rayford, but they're finding all this weird stuff. But it's weird. I was watching it on scene at her house live Saturday. Some woman, as a passenger in a vehicle, the vehicle drove up. She got out, and they have no trespassing signs all over the Guthrie residence now. They have live cameras, live security alarms, and everything now. All has been redone. And this woman just got out, walked up to the woman's front, Nancy Guthrie's front door, and you could see her go in kind of like to the door, and she's looking around. Evidently, she's taking pictures, got out, left in her car. Just got out and left. She just decided she wanted to go see for herself. Oh, there's some weird people going on. And yesterday we had a medium come out there.
Oh, God.
And so she's all around the area now, and she says she's helped law enforcement in the past. So I'm anxious to see how that's going to work out. She
We'll see.
was the woman. Well, you didn't watch the trial with
Nope.
Karen Reed, the Judge Beverly.
No.
But this woman that's also a medium is also a comedian, and she did a lot of imitation of that judge.
Great.
So it's crazy, but yeah, a lot of strange things happening out there.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Why her? Why Guthrie?
Well,
Okay, yes, you've got a notable that's living right here. The mother of, there's a lot of mothers of
that's right.
all sorts of people, politicians, and they're easy enough to find, where they are and everything. Why this woman? Why Samantha Guthrie?
I don't know.
Wasn't Samantha Guthrie being targeted? And we can't get to her, obviously, so we'll get to her mama.
I don't know. I have so many different opinions. I mean, but if you watch the video, which you've seen of the guy going to the door,
Yes.
he was a bumbling idiot, to put
Yes.
it plainly. So he was not a professional, but they say there is like a burglary ring going around here and there or whatever. And they're thinking that, it was just a burglary gone bad. And
Did they have any burglaries involving homes that were occupied? So there's a difference.
I couldn't tell you exactly what they have. Of course, because the Pima County Sheriff, he doesn't talk. But I imagine
He
that
does,
it would take somebody to go in and look at the records and stuff.
Well,
But
that would be the thing. Burglars, they don't like going to homes that have got people in them.
Oh,
because people got
exactly.
guns, and they would have to know a lot of. That's dangerous. It also elevates the crime, the
Mhm.
punishment for the crime, which could be death. You go into the occupied home, your punishment is no trial.
Well, maybe he saw her leave earlier in the evening, didn't
Could
know
be.
she'd come back.
Yeah, it
Who
could be.
knows?
But what did she? Was this looked like a modest home? It did not look like anything that's going to have a whole lot
And
of
most
valuable
people
stuff.
keep their vehicles in the garage in areas like that.
So what is there that would attract you? Did you go to any neighbors' homes? That's what I said in the first place. Was this targeted?
Well, that's one day we'll know the truth and we'll find out. But this has been the strangest
I've,
ever.
I've got a real serious feeling that they have the person. I know they don't have them in possession, but they have
don't
the
have
person or
enough.
persons involved.
Well, you talk about crazy stuff. Of course, I had it on the scene yesterday, was on the other TV, but sometimes these people that are watching these YouTubers that are out there on the scene,
Yeah.
they're just sitting out there with their camera on.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll do nice things like order some food for that YouTuber, which they use an Uber driver to deliver it. But they give Nancy Guthrie's address. So the Uber driver, who's not aware of what's going on, which how can you not be aware,
Shows up.
drives right up and walks up to the front door and delivers the food. And that happened yesterday. Don't know who the food was ordered for. I presume probably for this one YouTuber that was on the scene. But when she drove up into the driveway, which has no trespassing, do not enter, she got out of the vehicle. The YouTuber asked her, who are you and what are you doing? She flipped him out, said, why are you filming me? Went up to put the food bag at the front door. How could you not know what was going on? You're an Uber driver in that area.
I'm sorry. You will be amazed at how many people don't know anything about this case.
And then she drove off at a high rate of speed. I think she was going to take out the YouTuber. I don't know.
Oh, that would have been fun.
I'm like, what in the world?
I just can't imagine having nothing more to do with your life than to sit out there in front of a house as a YouTuber and just record things that are not happening.
But let me tell you what, this one YouTuber in particular, anywhere from 15 to 45, 50,000 viewers live watching
Then
everything.
there
because people want to know what's going
There are
on.
50,000 people that are more confused and
Call me confused.
There, you're one of them that you have to sit there and watch nothing happening. I got Marty's doing some staining on his fence over there. Why don't you watch that dry?
There is some funny stuff. There is some funny stuff that you can see happening out there. Yesterday they had
couple
this
of lizards getting it on. What
are those animals? They're called javelinos, or whatever. They look like half pig, half dog. Yeah. There was a bunch of them that came out there yesterday and started eating her flowers.
Oh, that's special. And nobody stopped them?
I know I need a life.
Oh, you really do need a life.
I was watching the race yesterday on the other TV. It had the other on there, but you get very involved in a story.
No, I don't.
You don't. I do. I do.
You get.
I get very involved in a story, and I have to, see what's going on. But I follow most of my news on X.
I want a hamburger.
That sounds so good.
Just early morning, a hamburger.
That sounds so good.
A homemade
Some grilled
hamburger.
onions on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Grill those onions.
I have hamburger defrosted at the house.
And then mushrooms. Grill those mushrooms in the hamburger. No cheese. I just want a hamburger. Uh-oh.
I am so glad somebody called because I was just, that is Steve. I was just about ready to say, please, somebody call in.
Hey, Steve, do you bring in hamburgers?
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning.
No, right now I'm fixing a Western omelet.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah. I'm guarantee you got some chilies in it.
Yep. I'm doing peppers and onions right now, getting them right, and then I'm gonna put the egg in.
Oh, it sounds so good. You ever had an oyster omelet?
A what?
An oyster omelet.
I have not.
I tell you what, I went to Ocracoke on fishing trips, and at the Pony Island Hotel, whatever, the restaurant there, and they did oyster omelets. Oh my goodness gracious! I could go back just for the ferry ride and the oyster omelet.
I would try it. It sounds like a interesting combination.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay, what you calling about?
Oh, not a whole lot. I just wanted to say today is a day of great celebration in my household.
And why?
Yeah.
the clock in my car finally displays the correct time again. I'm so happy.
Yay!
You know what? You are one of the smart people. You don't really care. You don't pay that much attention to it. You can actually add or subtract an hour, whichever your clock is set for.
Now that tells me the last time the time changed, he didn't change it. He just
That's right.
waited for it to change back.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
See, even my watch changed by itself.
Good deal.
I was going to say, Rayford, I don't know if Lee showed you or not. If she hadn't, you would get her to show you. I sent her some pictures of those flower beds I made.
Oh, okay.
I'll definitely show him that. Thanks for reminding me.
As long as they're not poppy flowers, we're good.
No, this is really cool, the stuff that he's making. I'm impressed.
It's simplistic and it's
Where did it go?
economical, I guess I could say.
Right.
And I can't take full credit for the idea. I was at the one of the local feed stores, supply, we'll call it, and they had one of those plastic totes with legs, and with holes in it. They called it a planter, and it was like $55 for one. I want to say 40-gallon size raised bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so those ones I made with the totes, the wood, the screws, and everything only came out to like $55.
I'm looking at this. This is absolutely freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I just showed him pictures.
I've got it in my hand. That is really well done there, Steve.
Thank you. I've got 4 of those. I'm gonna probably build 2 or 3 more of them, and that's what I'm gonna do all the gardening in this year.
This is what you need to sell. You can do this as a kit, but get all the stuff assembled, not assembled, but all with holes drilled in it and everything else for like the bolts.
I thought about that. Yeah.
Carrying the bolts, put them in there. I'm looking at it because my dad was this is what he would have done.
I like it. I might be
Holy
interested in some of those.
Yeah, and by the way I made it, you can make it fit pretty much any size area that you want to. But
that's
I'm kind of excited about it this year.
Fabulous.
And keep my dogs out of there from eating the tomatoes.
That thought did cross my mind that if they would have had one of those at the store, I would have paid even probably $100, $150 for it.
All you got to do is come home, put the bolts in it, put that thing together. You got A that goes to B. It could be. You could do a sketch of that one because it would be simplistic. I mean, a dummy could put it together without instructions, I think, but. There are dummies in the world.
I did, so that proves your point.
No, you built it, you designed it. That was not a problem, but that's actually well done.
I like it.
I appreciate that.
That's pretty
cool.
cool.
I like it because the totes it's just like a trash can holder. It's just set in there. So if your tote gets old or it cracks, you just pull it out, throw a new one in.
That's it.
Tote gets
for the next season. So.
I like that. Yeah, I like to. He'll send me pictures of new stuff that he's doing, which gives me a lot of ideas. But he puts a lot of stuff into his.
Okay, now those things. I didn't. Let me see it again. You got it up there.
And I can pull it up 1 second. Whoops.
I'm trying to see how are the totes supported? Are they?
I sent her one picture that shows the bottom side that shows how they're supported.
That's what I want to see.
Let me show you the bottom side.
2x4s underneath of them. So.
Okay, that's what I was worried about because once you put the dirt in and the dirt gets a little bit of water in it, you know how that is. It gets heavy.
Oh, yeah.
That's excellent. Yeah. Okay, good job.
I was right to go with it. Thank you.
Absolutely good job.
Well, if you decide to build some, let us know. We'll post the pictures.
Did you, are you using, I assume, good old wood that doesn't rot?
Yeah, it's pressure treated wood.
That's what I'm asking.
And I'm using coated screws.
Okay.
Coated deck screws to put it together. You could use lag bolts, but I just used what I had laying around.
Well, I wouldn't think of lag bolts for it. I'd just get some of like the big carriage bolts for people to put it together who only thing they got in their lives is going to be a screwdriver and a wrench.
Now, how much do the totes cost? The black totes?
Today I'm the legs on one end, I'm putting wheels on it and putting handles on the other end.
Get up and move it around.
He said $60 in material includes lumber, screws, and totes. Oh, includes the totes.
And that's a little over what it actually costs. I just rounded up to 60.
That's cheap. And where did you get those totes at?
I got them. I got those particular ones at Lowe's, but Walmart sells the same thing, except it's got a red lid instead of a yellow lid. But other than that, the toast is exactly
Okay,
the
now I
same.
know
got 'em from both
exactly what
places.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
they had them on sale for $8 a piece
Wow.
at Lowe's, and so I got like 18 of them.
You're serious about this. Okay, well, you get, wow.
I get a lot of my
But feel free to
ideas
share
from
those
he
photos
does.
if you want to. So
I
everybody
will
can see
do
'em,
that.
And if anybody's curious about how to build them, I'm more than happy to, tell them what I know. But ain't much. It's just
Seriously, you could get some wood. Wood wouldn't cost you a whole lot, and go ahead and put 2 or 3 of them out there, just the kits for sale. You don't even, you don't have to have, because you can use the wood if they don't buy them. You can use it
I
yourself.
would be interested.
I'd put that
yes.
sucker together in a
Yes.
heartbeat. I'm interested
Oh,
in one.
yes.
I
That's
tell you,
pretty
and you
cool.
can kind of custom, make it if you're making it yourself, whatever height you want it to be.
Yeah, I'd want it about 3 feet off the ground for the top of it.
I got you. Mine, I did the legs are 21 inches,
Okay.
and that brought it up to about knee height for me. And because I want to grow some taller crops down too,
Mm-hmm.
so I will,
And your back
The little
doesn't hurt like
step
mine
forward.
does, so your back is still young enough to have been way over there.
It has its issues, but I actually got my little stool and sat down to see what height I wanted, and that's kind of what I based it off of. That I'll be able to take my little stool around with me.
I like a bar height stool to do that. Yeah, I want it taller. I want it taller. No, but that's good. Wow. Yeah,
I like
I'll
it.
send you other pictures as
Interesting.
I do the rest of them, and I can
Okay.
put them in place.
if you
and
decide to
kinda see how
market
it
that
goes.
thing, let me know, because I probably will be in the market for one of them.
Yes.
I thought about it. It'd be a good thing at the flea market or at the
Mhm.
farmer's market. People probably would be interested in them.
Oh, yes.
For sure. Especially if they came, like you say, in a little kit. And,
Yeah, you have one put together, and you have some kits there. Cool. You're going to sell the one that you put together. Somebody's going to buy that. You know how that is.
Yeah.
People don't want to,
Yeah.
or they'll pay you extra to put it together. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
And honestly, I mean, you got to have a few little tools to do it with. For the totes, I've got a 1/2-inch paddle bit, and I drill like 20 holes in the bottom of those totes,
Right,
so I
sure.
get good drainage out of it and all. But so you kind of got to have a drill, a saw, wrench, screwdriver, stuff like that. But
Well, if they put it together,
if
all
you
you
get
got
it in the kit, if you get it in the kit,
It's
then
done.
it's not quite as hard. Yeah.
Well, I like it. And people could
Alrighty.
people could put rocks in the bottom of it if they wanted to. If they wanted to do it right, they could put a little bit of gravel there,
Put some gravel.
and then put some
something.
dirt in it, and go for it.
Yeah. I usually take and put landscaping fabric in the bottom of mine
Right.
just to keep the soil from washing out.
Right.
Uh-huh.
The rocks, I've tried that before, and I don't quite have so much success that way. I don't know why. It might have just had nothing to do with the rocks or the cloth, but you know how sometimes something works and you don't want to change.
Yep. If it works, if it works,
Don't
keep
fix it,
doing
ain't
it.
broke.
That's right. Don't fix something that ain't broke.
Right.
But,
I like that. Let me know.
anyway,
Let me know if you're going to do something.
I will. We'll
All
do.
right. Yeah. Keep us posted.
But I just wanted to share that this morning, and
Good job. Really good
so
job.
y'all hope that's a good week.
Okay.
Right.
You too.
Yeah. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you,
You
Steve.
too.
Bye.
Yeah, I like looking at it. So he'll send me pictures of his
Mm-hmm.
creations, and it gives me ideas. So, and right now, yesterday I just pulled the weeds from my garden bins. Oh my gosh! I think I'm gonna start covering them during the winter. Will that keep the weeds out of them?
No, yes, and maybe.
Well, okay.
You need to poison the crap out of it when you're in the early fall. As soon as you pull everything out, just poison it.
I don't want to
Not
do
with something that's
that.
going to kill everything forever, but
I think I'll just start covering them or something because they were full of weeds. So, but I actually want to move them, but I'm not going to move them because I've got a section of fence that I want to redo before I move everything clear to it. But anyway, I'm working on it. Did a lot of gardening, cleaning gardening over the last couple of days, pulling out weeds and leaves.
I'm looking at those beds in my head here right now.
Yes.
If you got some and did some shallow totes the same way, if you wanted to, you could put things like strawberries in there and just let those things, you could stack them
Right.
and let those things just flow over. Ooh,
Yeah. That is pretty
Ooh.
cool.
ooh, cucumbers. Can you imagine cucumbers growing out and the vines just hanging over
Well,
from different heights?
Home Depot and Lowe's
Yeah.
have these new type boxes. They're square and they sit on the ground. They have little legs, but then they have trellises that go all the way up.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
What?
frames.
Yeah. Well,
And also, it's something new that they have out. And I want to get some of those for like the tomato plants and the cucumber plants because that'll help support them going upright.
mhm.
So instead of having one of those little metal, what are those
Cage.
things that you put in there and the tomato plant just bends it all to heck.
You can make your own with some, you can
Jackalopes.
make your own with some really stiff wire.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, and I've got lots of fencing and stuff, but I find as it starts growing that I have to start reinforcing it, and it's just
We already talked about it. We're in March. It is North Carolina Severe Weather Outlook Month, and there's going to be a lot of stuff talked about in the local TV stations and whatever. And it's important for you to pay attention. Emergency operations centers are doing things, and they'll be testing their own internally. So, but it's traditionally the time of year when tornadoes are most likely to impact North Carolina. At the end of last week, 9 tornadoes touched down in the country's heartland. A total of 8 people died. A lot of others were injured in the storms. Wisconsin, Michigan, Texas were all hit. When cooler air, sudden warm air get together during the spring, severe thunderstorms are formed, and out of any severe thunderstorm, a tornado can form up. We preach every year the need for these NOAA weather radios, as I talked about earlier. They're small, they're very inexpensive. They just sit around, do absolutely nothing, and be sure you just keep them turned on and keep the alarm, make sure the alarm is set. They constantly monitor the government's emergency weather services. You get to pick the strongest station in your area, you zoom in on whatever it is, and that's the one you listen to. In the event of the possibility of severe weather, if the possibility of severe weather is coming, they're going to give you either a watch or a warning. When it's happening, they will let you know. That way you can be ready to take cover or do whatever. Now, here comes your part. After you get the radio and you get it hooked up and all that sort of good stuff, have an emergency plan of action. So let's just say an emergency hits. You got to know what to do. Okay, a tornado warning is put out. Tornado warning, that means generally one is on the ground. They will tell you in the weather reports it's either a spotter or radar generated report. If they get somebody in the neighborhood, a spotter, they've got weather spotters everywhere. Hey, this is a tornado. It's on the ground. Here's what it looks like. And then they will put it out as a warning, spotter warning. If it's indicated on radar, you can see a tornado. The weather spotters, they know how to know, weather radar people, they know what to look for. It's a little hook like device in the radar image.
Well, darn.
And I've only seen one of them when it first formed up. And I was there with my meteorologist in Wilmington. And he says, "Oh my God, look at this. This is a tornado." And he issued the tornado warning before the broadcast people could do it. We put it on the air first, followed by the Weather Bureau. But that's because he was in-house. He was also a trained meteorologist. He worked for the National Weather Service at one time and also the Weather Channel. But I had the luck of having him, and he also wrote a textbook for teaching meteorology in college. Have this plan in place, ready to do what needs to be done. If you have a radio, if you buy a radio and you don't know what to do, it's gonna pick up the strongest station if you just tune through. That's not a problem. Problem is, it will alert you for everything everywhere in North Carolina. So if you can't follow the instructions and program it yourself, it's okay. It's all it is they got certain codes, and the new ones will do it automatically if you hit the button. But if you have problems, go find yourself a ham radio operator. They follow instructions most of the time very well. Actually, when all instructions fail, then they read them. But you could do that. If you don't know one, call us. We know them all over the area.
Right.
So
Well, it is tornado season,
it is.
and I like to follow my favorite extreme meteorologist and storm chaser, Reed Timmer. I'll put the link up. He's not a nut.
Crazy guy.
He's been featured on the Discovery
It
Channel,
doesn't matter.
National Geographic. No, let me finish. Netflix,
Yeah.
the Weather Channel, Disney,
special. Yeah.
PBS, AccuWeather, and more. He's
Uh-huh.
been featured on Jay Leno's Garage, worked with the legendary Richard Hammond from Top Gear and Grand Tour. And it's insane where the weather has taken him. In fact, he was here in Onslow County during our snowstorm.
I mentioned crazy,
Yes.
and you said he's insane.
No, he's an extreme meteorologist.
Same
He is a
thing.
bona fide meteorologist. I guarantee you, this man right there, right at Reed Timmer, probably knows it more about the weather than some of our local meteorologists. Don't yell at me. Don't hate me. But this man, I mean, you should check him out. Just check him out. I don't say you have to watch him chase a
He's
storm.
promoted himself pretty well, hasn't he?
He has chased tornadoes for quite a while, and he was out
That
this
makes him
weekend.
crazy.
He was, and I would do it. I would
Once,
love to do it.
and you won't drive across a bridge.
No, I don't like
And
bridges.
you won't drive across a bridge, and you would chase a tornado.
I would.
What would you do if you caught it?
Look.
I
I've
guess
watched
right.
him. I've
Watched
watched him
him?
in the middle. I mean, we've
Did-
seen him drive into
and-
tornadoes.
Uh-huh.
He's extreme, and I'll tell you what. But he has a huge following, over 1 million. Rayford, he has a huge following on YouTube and on Facebook.
Everybody likes to see somebody die sooner or later. That's what they're doing.
Die.
If it's going
But
to
you
happen,
know
you
what?
just want to be there watching it, right?
He's very, very, he's well versed in meteorology.
And all of these places that he's been featured, Netflix and all that, they feature those ghost hunters too, don't they?
I don't know. I'm just getting into that. It was not by choice. It just keeps popping up now.
What we got coming up?
What we've got coming up. Well,
Not
we have some
today.
interesting guests coming up this week. I've got yet to confirm some of them. Of course, Dr. Rose. Peter should be back this week. Of course, our favorite sports editor, Chris Miller. And Congressman Dr. Murphy should be joining us later in the week.
He will be here.
Yes, he's in Florida right now. There was a death in the family. So, and he'll be back next week in time to attend something before he has to go back to DC. So the man is on the run. He's on the run.
On the run, chasing or being chased?
On the run, doing his job and attending so many functions. And the man is just busy, very busy. Very, very busy. But we do have some, and if there's anybody out there who'd like to come on the show and talk about anything, let me know.
Give us a call. We'll
Give us a call me, or you can text me.
If you
And
got something you want to deal with, that's fine.
right.
Let's see, what else is there? We've got, I'm going to be talking about that Republican Party of yours.
Oh, mine.
You were in
Republican.
charge of it.
That was a while back. That was back.
You were in charge of it, right?
That was back.
That's when you recruited everybody in Onslow County to be a Republican.
Yeah. We had a huge party back then. We really did.
Yeah.
They had
And
their.
are you losing members now?
It's kind of disappointed. Don't know what's going on. I'm sure it's
People are not showing up at conventions and things.
The convention was very low attended. We used to have 200-300 people.
So you went this year, and where was this?
It was at Jacksonville High School.
Okay, so it was in Jacksonville.
Yes.
And the convention included what? Everybody in Onslow County who was a member of the Republican
As long
Party.
as you're a
if they wanted to
Republican
be.
by January 31st of 2026, you can
So
attend.
they were for you. Any Republican could come in.
Right. We had
And you had a grand total of how many?
64.
64.
We had very, 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 very few.
Why? What's wrong with them?
electeds.
I mean, that's about the same percentage that didn't turn
Excuse
out
me.
for the election, right?
I don't know what's going on. It just.
Do you have the numbers of the breakdown yet? The Republican, Democrat, and unaffiliated who
No,
voted?
I was waiting for John Locke to do that, and still waiting.
Well, I'm talking about in Oslo County.
That's what I'm talking about.
John Locke.
Yes, John Locke Foundation. They do all that. I did find out we have a new Board of Elections director here in Onslow County. Her name is Jennifer O'Neill. I hope I got that right. She's from the New Hanover area, but she is now our Onslow County Elections Board director. So we have a new director.
Does she live in New Hanover County?
She's from New Hanover County. That's what I was told. So I am assuming she lives in Onslow now.
Okay.
Because I don't, I don't know how they work that, Rayford. It could be that she still lives in New Hanover. I don't know. Because all that's been quiet, kept quiet. So
Who is the? And this is the chairman of not the hired guy, right?
this is the one that is hired to run the boards of elections.
Okay, so she takes over from Jason, right?
She took over from Jason,
Who's been gone for 6 or 8 months,
who's been gone for a while. Yes.
and we've been through 1 or 2 elections since he was gone.
True.
Okay.
Yes.
It took a while. What's
primary? Well, the municipal, then the
That's
primary.
right.
That's right. Forgot about the municipal.
So what took so long?
Have no clue on any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I asked a question, they were just like, can't talk about it. And I'm like, okay,
Why not?
it's beyond me.
It's what you got to hide. You can't talk about it.
I don't know. Beyond me.
Okay.
Don't know what happened down
It
there.
makes me
I
suspicious.
do not know. It could have been something very simple like, we don't know, so we're telling you no comment. We don't know.
Well, if you tell me we don't really know, we're waiting for orders from headquarters. I can understand that.
I don't know,
They're
but the
not
state
going-
board is
they
going
need to
through
go to
some
headquarters.
changes right now. They just had one that resigned abruptly because I guess it was found
Got
out
caught with something.
that he had given several donations to candidates.
Whoops!
And this is during this term, and
Whoops.
you can't do that if
You
you're an
can.
employee.
But then you get
Get fired.
fired.
Yeah, you get fired because if you're on the Board of Elections board, not working in the Board of Elections per se, I'm talking about on the board, the one that governs everything. You cannot openly support anybody. You cannot give donations. You have to remain very non-biased.
Prince Andrew,
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
poor guy. We're going to leave, but Prince Andrew,
Former Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew, he's got a couple of daughters.
Uh-huh.
They're facing royal exile
Why?
as their whole brand is washed up now
But
because of
it's
Andrew's
fault their daddy's.
the perverted activities,
Mhm.
shall we say? Okay.
But should they be punished for their father's actions?
Oh, that's England for you. You know, it's the family. You're no longer welcome. You're exiled.
Well, I think it's a
God.
shame that that the daughters are being
Glad
punished.
they
for
couldn't
that.
do that in my family because I'd have been on the outs a long time ago, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
always a rebel. Okay, we
Uh-huh.
will see
I
you
was a
guys
rebel.
tomorrow morning. We
Yes.
don't have anyone scheduled yet, but if you got someone you'd like to see here, give us a call. Let us know if you've got something to offer. Give us a call. Let us know. We'll give you serious consideration.
That's right.
Okay.
Come in and give us your opinion.
And so right now we're going to take our leave, and I'm going to go take a nap.
Yes, you need a nap.
I
You
do need
appear
a
to
nap.
be very sleepy this morning. I'm good. I have to go spread some mulch, and then I have a court case coming on.
How do you
at
spray
noon.
mulch?
You dump it and spread it.
Oh, spread it. I thought you said spray it.
No,
I was going to
spread
say,
it.
how do you spray
And
mulch?
I got it when it was $4. It was 4 for $10, like you did. 4 for $10.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Oh, and that's another thing. You know, I put in for curbside pickup. Got to the place where you go up there and it's numbered. Checked in and it says you're checked in. 30 minutes later, I'm like, so I made sure I was checked in. It says you're checked in. So I said, okay, they must be busy. But then I see employees walking around getting shopping carts. And I'm like, So 45 minutes pass. Get AI, and AI says, you're already checked in. Well, I finally got up, went inside, and they said, you didn't complete your check-in. That's why we didn't get notification. I go, well, it says I checked in. Anyway, so.
AI, artificial, fake.
I think AI forgot to tell them that I checked in. But anyway.
You're live in local real talk. We're kind of nuts, but we're awake right now, but won't be so long.
Right.
Never woke.
That's right.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.